So, welcome to the show. I am your host, man, Alpha the Prince.
And it is your co-host, your boy Papa Fredo. This is the Midwest point of view, where we give our point of view on business, life, and culture, and how that impact us around the world.
You did. Um, so man, it's so many places we could start from. Probably so many places we should start from. We're gonna talk about the most relevant place, which is the economy. And especially if you like us who are entrepreneurs, who are businessmen, who are investors,
Get that money.
and who love that money. Who love that money, man. The market was not our friend, and it not only had a global impact. You already know it had like
Motherfucker was mean.
it had a big impact not only just globally but in the Midwest also. So it raised the question for us, like, all right, if we have a global recession, can the Midwest even survive a recession? Do we got the tools?
So, I'm gonna just state, that I think this question is a real good question because we all done seen a recession
Have we?
with different spurts of it. It's been one throughout different times here in the U.S.
Oh, I thought you meant like in our lifetime. I'm like, nigga, we young.
I'm just saying, like the country, you feel me? But I
Yeah.
do want to say though, the Midwest is stronger than what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? Like the Midwest has a diversity economy. I'm sorry, including sectors like healthcare, technology, energy, manufacturing, and agriculture. This diversity provides resilience against economic shocks. So, basically, we hold it, baby. We got it going on. You know what I'm saying? So we got so much diversity within, business and
uh,
different avenues or options for employment that, you know what I'm saying? I think that we got we're gonna be able to withstand. You know what I'm saying? I think we're very innovative. We're very, very innovative sector out of the country. So I think we'll be able to sustain for sure. And then I do want to say the Midwest has enjoyed comparatively low unemployment rates over the medium term. As of May 2023, the Midwest unemployment rate was 3.2%, lower than any other region and at a historic low in
mm.
April. So, that's just another little bit of information there.
Midwest out here beating the country, boys.
Yeah, but that's why I
Ain't
said
no.
as far as
Yeah.
business wise, I think we can hold it together
Mm-hmm.
because we are, innovative.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a faster recovery as far as with the Midwest recovered from the pandemic recession faster than it did from the Great Recession, which is the truth, largely due to federal pandemic relief measures. So,
Um. So what I do want to say when we mention that, right, and when we talk about maintaining jobs versus the country's job rate. What I do want to acknowledge and especially bring awareness to is that we do see the reality of, our economy, especially socially. We lose when people do lose jobs and possibly become homeless, and the the dismantling of what we used to call the middle class feels like it doesn't exist. It just feels like everybody that is
like,
below.
like two regions, either you're below or you're above.
Yeah, it feels like, because and we do, for us who still exist in that 9 to 5 lifestyle, we feel you. Like on this show, we want you to understand, especially everybody that's from Indiana, Detroit, everybody that's from the Midwest. Like we are everyday Joes and 9 to 5 people. So when it comes to like feeling like you living check to check, we get that. Especially when it comes, even the reality of job loss. Like when I roam around the city, and on one hand, the stats say one thing, but your pocket say another.
Yeah, like go ahead and you know what, bro, just break it down for them. Give them the meaning of the five figures.
Oh,
Or at
ironically,
least the difference between, because we all know what six figures is.
oh my
We
gosh, they
know
done popularized six figures when it comes to the economy. But everybody, hey, with the market now, yeah, you think you got six figures, but um, for that, literally, the I'm paraphrasing, but what a 5 figure person is anybody who makes under $99,000 and below. So literally 10,000. If your salary is 10,000 to 99,000 and anywhere in between, you are a 5 figure person. So everybody, like, that figure word sounds nice, but I'll make 5 figures. It sounds nice, but I damn sure ain't rich.
Do you know where the five figure idea came from? Like how they got to that terminology of five figures?
No, and that's a really good question. So, if for those who watch this, for those who listen and on Spotify, shout out to Spotify, shout out to Opus Clips. Um, put it in the comments if you
I can tell you
know
right now. So
where it came.
the reason why they came or how they got that meaning is because it's five digits. What's 79,000
Oh,
and some change?
oh, that's slick.
Yep. Versus six figures, and you got six digits.
Yeah,
So I just
six
want to throw that out
digits.
there.
Wow, hey, bro, that's crazy.
Yeah, and it
That's
crazy
crazy.
like how they just
Yeah,
took the
it's
little
simple, but it don't. It's that's crazy.
put
Yeah,
such of a bigger meaning to it.
yeah,
Yeah, so I
that's
just want to throw that
wild.
out there too. But
That's
also to
wild.
keep just keep on going on with a little bit more information pertaining to the Midwest and what we think that the Midwest can do as far as with making it out of any recessions, things of that sort, or if we can overcome one. I do want to also mention that we do have lower volatility during the 2008 Great Recession. The Midwest showed more resilience than many other regions, with rents and property values recovering relatively quickly. And right
Mhm.
now, we do know that the Midwest is holding it down for the housing market. So
Yeah,
recessions
six
could
out of
be.
10. 6 out of the top 10. So 6 out of the top 10 states is Midwest states. So like when we say that, majority of the what can be seen as a real life asset is in real estate that creates an economical moat for us. Um, but to add to that though, we've really done this before. Um, Now we had the 1980s. It was the Great Depression, the Great Depression and Recession, right? And that was pretty much the last time, as far as like when was the last time that we actually went through this? It was that era. It was that season, and even then, you see the strength that we have coming from up north, coming from our region. Because back then, 1.3 million people had lost their jobs,
Mm-hmm.
but the economy. So that's when we say we want to acknowledge the fact that, like, yeah, that's a big number. That's a big number.
It took a big hit.
You know what I'm saying? 1 million plus people lost their jobs, but as far as the Midwest economy in our region, we bounced back, we held strong, and we pushed through. So when it comes to, I know it's gonna feel like we finna have to go to the WIC office and get water milk for the next few days, and you know what I'm saying, you worry compared to what you're seeing in the market. I do want us to be aware, especially like in Black America, period. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to me in Black America, I definitely want us to be aware about uh, what is to come, and get our dollars together, because when the iconic and the celebrities that you love and admire, when they start telling that they're concerned about their money, then you should definitely be concerned about your money, I would say.
Yeah, again, man, that movie that Obama came out with, and I'm actually gonna give you the name for it. One second.
I forgot what it was called. It's on Netflix too.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is
it's on Netflix.
um
They said he
Leave the world
executively
behind.
produced. Wait, what?
So I would. It's called Leave the World Behind.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I would highly recommend watching that because I think it's a great movie. I think it provides a lot of information in there, and I think it just gives you an idea or an outlook on what the government is not really telling us entirely. And I
Mm-hmm.
think Obama has a message there for us to pay attention to. Like, just for example, in the beginning of the movie, he has a scene where the gentleman is talking.
Who? Obama?
No, not Obama per
Oh,
se.
okay.
The African American gentleman is talking to
Mm-hmm.
the European,
Mm-hmm.
and he's talking to him, and the European was asking him, like, does he know anything about what's going on today? Remember, they stayed at the African American's family house, things of that sort. So he was telling the African American was saying that he had a client that recently took out a large lump sum of money from his accounts, and he was kind of curious to why would you do that. So when he asked the client then explained to him, he didn't give him like a complete breakdown. He just more so hinted like, it's a tide coming. So I'm just getting prepared because if you don't know, you won't know. But if you do know, you do know. And if you don't know, if you don't have the right friends, then you might not ever know until it hits you.
Mm-hmm.
So with
And
him
we do
going,
got those. We do got some of those friends, y'all. So like, this is why we do the show for those that don't. Like me and Papa Fredo, we really care about our community because we come from the strife. We strive to be more, but because we care about y'all and we live that reality. When we get to this point to where we have this available information, bro, we gotta tell you in some form. We gotta
yeah,
warn you.
yeah. So that's just an idea there. Keep an eye out on the market. Like we just took a big hit, and that wasn't just a hit in the U.S. That was a hit all around the world. So you know, it's
So
just a sign.
here's what I do want to give. I mean, we're probably going to start doing this more anyway, but I want to give you like actionable steps, and you can look this up on like any of the search engines and the website platforms. Nerd Wallet was one that I used to use a lot, but when you're preparing for an unlikely economic outcome, budget it out now. What are your needs versus what are your wants? It's going to sound cliche, but literally, do
No,
I
it's not. I mean, it's
do
honestly,
no no
it's
no
what
no
you need.
no when I say it's going to sound cliche, I mean that the when you buying a cup of coffee versus do you need it and do you want it? That's what I mean. Yeah.
No, I got you. I'm just more so standing on the fact that it is very much a necessity to take those proper steps now because you don't want to be one of the ones on the back end of the line that doesn't have any supplies. And now you are scurrying around like a chicken with your head cut off trying to get everything together for you and your family to survive. Because to to be aware is to be alive. And you want to be ready. You might not have time to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say that.
You might
But
want to say that again.
man, just to be aware is to be alive, and you want to be ready instead of trying to get ready because you might not have the time for all of that, bro. That's the
No.
honest to God truth. But despite all the positive um, information that was provided based on what the Midwest has to offer, things of that sort, you know, I do just want to say that um, there is still a possibility, of course, that a recession affecting a recession affecting this region is possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's not impossible. So the only thing is try to stay above water as far as with staying ahead of the game. And when I say that, I mean look for the next best thing. Look for something that somebody else is not already doing. Try to be innovative. Try to create something that no one else already has going on because when the stuff do hit the fan,
Mm-hmm.
if you have something that no one else has, that puts you at the head of the line.
So I'm gonna give what I think are three actionable steps for you, or three actionable tips for y'all. Number one, look at all of your assets and liabilities, and that's going to sound like you repetitive. You hear it a lot, but what I mean when I said it is create you a budget or recreate your budget. Look at what things can be labeled as miscellaneous, and miscellaneous means that you don't necessarily need them. It's not a necessity versus actually paying your bills. So like your light bill is not miscellaneous. You need that. You know what I'm saying? Your
Right.
gas bill, your
Or
rent.
electricity. What you gonna do?
Um, make the budget, right? So first make your budget. And then after that, let's say what is your biggest debt? And you should include student loans. How what is the plan that you have to pay down your debt? But that's number two. And then number three, when it goes back to Papa Fredo's point, find out what it is that you can do to create your own economical growth that isn't tied to something that's already built. Now, when it comes to that, now you can, okay, what they call like essential jobs. Now, if you created an essential business plan, then that's dope. So laundromat is always going to need it. That's essential. A gas station is always going to need it. That's essential.
Barbershop. That's very
Barbershop,
yep.
you know what I'm saying? But the most important thing is create something that can give you economical growth. So those are my three things: budget, pay down your debt from the budget, and then create something like a business that gives you economical growth. Those are my three tips to survive in this recession.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, I'm gonna just say to label mine, I would say pay attention. So that means pay attention to the news, pay attention to the stock market, um, all sorts of you have all sorts of avenues and resources to get information. Use it. You have a computer in your pocket every day. Use it. Um, and then also, just as I stated, create a business plan and things of that sort that will get you throughout longevity. And if there is a recession, hopefully you created a business that can stay afloat and someone else doesn't already have. So then, of course, like I said, you just be ahead of the line. You be the first one that people come to.
Oh, real quick, even if you don't create a
And
business,
again, I am with you as far as what stock up on canned goods, water, things of that sort. Just be prepared for the worst.
real quick though, even if you don't create a business, right? Because I want the people who still work in the workforce and are good at what they do. Find a way to elevate. And an old head had recently told me that when God blesses you with a position, what skills and assets do you have to move up, right? Because moving up in a company isn't bad. I love when I see black people progress and get in positions because what I see from that is if you've been able to get to like a VP, then that means you can become a VP of a black owned company, which I think would be very, very dope. But my point is that's one way you can grow your paycheck, right? So you go one moment, a year down the line, you was living paycheck to paycheck. You learned all the skills you could. You apply for the management job. Now you up a level, you up a salary. You feel me? So it's ways to, but I definitely want to say that for those who are like, I ain't into doing entrepreneurship. Not everybody is, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine, man. We not pointing the finger at nobody nor what you should or really shouldn't do. We just giving out our best suggestions and what we would recommend if we were in your shoes, depending on the basis. So, yeah. But as far as with the next topic that we have here, so what I want to talk about now is going to be more so about the Midwest and the festivities that we have here. So,
He's saying enough about this drought. I'm trying to have some fun.
yeah, I want to talk about the traditional things that the Midwest have to offer for fun and excitement, and just to give y'all a little taste of our culture when y'all come around. You know what I'm saying? You might get a little taste of the food, get a little taste of the dance, get a little taste of the girl or that guy. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know. But we got a bunch of places where things go on and take place. So I'm gonna just give a few places that I have here on my list. I have the Tulip Time Festival that takes place in Holland, Michigan. Okay, I'm gonna say it again: the Tulip Time Festival, and again, it takes place in Holland, Michigan. If y'all
Lately, I
interested,
like that. She
Huh?
would. Lele would like that. She would love that.
So
That
this
sound girly.
festival here, they're celebrating Dutch heritage. This festival features
Okay.
stunning tulip displays, parades, and traditional Dutch dances. So I
Hmm.
don't know if Lele would technically like Dutch dances.
No, it's with the flowers. I think she would like
Yeah,
that.
with the flowers and all that other
I
stuff.
think she
Yeah,
would like that.
it's a beautiful parade. And then we have the Milwaukee Polish Fest. That's Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That take place in. If you didn't catch on there, Milwaukee Polish Fest. So with this one, it's one of the largest Polish cultural festivals in the U.S. Actually, it
That's a lot of
showcases
meat.
Polish food, music, and folk arts, attracting thousands each year. So it's considerably a big festival. If you are a Polish lover,
Yeah,
then
it's a
you
lot of
definitely
Polish
should come
people
out.
in Chicago too. So yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a lot of
If you
Polish
are
people
of a
out here.
Polish, yeah, of course, culture as well, then yep, they're looking for
Hmm.
you to come out there. But I do want to say that we have a Puerto Rican festival here in Chicago, Illinois as well. So for my Puerto Rican family, you guys can come out there, have a good time there, and it's held up in Humboldt Park. This festival celebrates Puerto Rican culture with music, food, and vibrant parades. So you already know they getting drunk. You know they having a good time there. Then we have the Wisconsin State Cow Chip Throw and Festival. So this is in Prairie du Sac, Wisconsin. It's a quirky event where participants throw cow chips alongside parades and other family-friendly activities. Um, doesn't really sound like my cup of tea. Not gonna lie to you
Where
guys, but
that's at?
that's something. It's in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
And to be just direct to your question, it's on the Prairie du Sac area in Wisconsin.
It's a country event, all right?
It's like a country event. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then we also have the. I like this one. You gonna love this one. He gonna love this one, y'all. Hey, he gonna love this one, y'all. So this event, number 5 on my list, is called the Grumpy Old Men Festival.
He has jokes, yo. He has jokes, okay? It's because he's been knowing me for 20 damn years. And yeah, we both old
Yeah,
then,
man.
motherfucker.
Listen, man, we got an insider. All right, this is my brother. You know, so everything that we do, we like to love. We like to joke and have fun. This is just how we show love to one another. But yeah, we got a little
Nah, I do.
insider
I'm
here.
ready. Wait, tell me about this festival, though. I am interested.
Okay, so this one is in it's Wabash, Minnesota. It is inspired by
Okay.
the film. This festival features ice fishing.
Okay.
It has a cribbage tournament and a lively atmosphere celebrating community spirit.
Cribbage, that sound old.
And then and then we have another here with the Festival de la Belita. That's in Chicago as well, and that's celebrating Mexican heritage. And this festival includes traditional food, music, and dance, drawing families from across the region. And then this is my last one on the list, number
Oh, say,
7.
boy, you got like 7 festivals, man.
This is my last one, bro. So this is the last one that I have on the list here. Oh, I'm sorry, I did dog on it. Lost my list. Yeah. 1 second here.
Look, God said, no, that was your last one.
Right. All
Yeah.
right. Got me a dog.
Oh man, bro. I look. I ain't saying the best was for last, but look, I
Okay,
ain't
you got it.
gotta.
You got it. So
Uh,
it's called the Duct Tape Festival.
what?
Yeah. Hey, I didn't name them.
Okay.
So this is in Avon, Ohio.
Mm,
It is a unique festival, basically celebrating of creativity, featuring a duct tape fashion show and parade, showcasing innovative using use usage of duct
mm-hmm.
tape. So basically, they are creating clothes out of duct tape, and then they're having a fashion show.
That sounds real revealing on their part. Uh, so some of those are really interesting. For those that don't know, when we say we gonna take Lele, that's our daughter. That's his blood daughter. That's my goddaughter. Um, so that's what we mean. We be like, yeah. So if you ever hear us say we're gonna take somebody somewhere, usually we talking about our kids. Uh, but so all those are dope. Some of those are really interesting. I still kind of want to go check out the old man one. I
You
don't,
gonna fuck around and you
you
gonna
know what I'm saying? I gotta live up to it. It still
Well,
rang
I
out to
will
me.
say that those events and festivals that I did mention, those are just the most relative festivals that I could locate
Hmm.
that are
They
supposed
different.
to be popular ones here in the Midwest. Yeah, these are the ones you want to come to. So that's just the list out there for you. But we do have so many more, of course, and I can't wait till Afro the Prince come here to bless us with some more. So come on, brother, man, let's roll that out.
All right, so really quickly, give me 1 second.
Oh,
Um,
why did I do that?
mhm.
Why am I doing that? Okay, brother, man, you jumping in and out. You all right?
Be right back.
Okay. So my co-host here, he needs a moment. So while he's taking a moment, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get us some more festivals here. I'm gonna point out some of the black festivals that we have that take place here in the Midwest. That is just a little bit more cultural. So if you're trying to look to get your groove on, you know what I'm saying. This is what we got going on. So we got the Midwest Regional Black Cultural Fest that takes place in Cincinnati, Ohio. This is an outdoor festival. It features a fashion show. Okay, watch out, ladies. It has a beauty lounge. It has community awards, performances, health screenings. That's good. That's good for our people. We definitely need to know about the health and more. So they're also celebrating Black culture and community engagement as well. So that's pretty nice. Community engagement pretty much takes place at a lot of festivals, though, for the most part, at least for what I know. What's up, Afro? Okay, I just tried to hold it on for a second till you came back, my boy.
Oh, you good, man? I know you got it. I know you got it. But now that we back, like we never left, I'm gonna give you some dope festivals that I found about. I love festivals and I love road trips. So what I love the most, which is funnily intertwined, I love road trips, and the Midwest is like the perfect place to take road trips
Man,
because
bro, it's like we could get all over.
you know what I'm saying. In most of the states, most of the 12 states is road trip worthy. You know what I'm saying? They like 6, maybe 8 hours tops, and you can pretty much travel the region like that. You could drive through like 2, 3 states. I mean, when we went to Michigan, we had to drive through Indiana, but um, in Kansas, because I like doing places I ain't never been in Kansas, and I love anime. So for all the blurs out there, they have a plant Comic Con. It's a lot of Comic Con. It was literally a Midwest. It was a Midwest Comic Con that was hosted here maybe like 2, 3, maybe like 2 months ago. But I thought that was really dope. They've been doing it for like 25 years though in Kansas City. They've been doing this one for like 25 years. So like you love Bleach, Dragon Ball, even the new anime, so Attack on Titan. So I thought that was really cool. And I actually never been to one. And that's on my bucket list uh, to go to a Comic Con in my 20s. Another event that they have in Kansas City is Festa Italiano. So I'm very culture oriented. And what I loved about hearing about this is we have a village called Little Italy here, but to see that they have an entire festival dedicated to the cultural significance and heritage of Italy, because you see it in the movies, right? So you see the fancy wineries and the way that they are like the Francois of the love language, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that that was really really dope, and
Like
that
they
they
really
do.
the only ones that know how to French kiss.
You know what I'm saying? Even though they're not French, but so but for me though, I thought that that was really really cool. And then in Iowa, right now, when you hit Iowa, they be like, "Who be in Iowa? What's to do in Iowa? Iowa probably dry as hell." Nah, bro, you actually be surprised. And two things that I found out is that they have a African American festival, and what they label a festival, which I have to go see what this black population is. I just have to now. But it's called "I'll Make a World." Out, it's called "I'll Make Me a World." And I thought that that was a really dope way as an expression for black people to say that we're going to make our own world and we're going to make it beautiful. But it's a festival that celebrates our cultural significance in our world. So gospel, jazz, blues. Um, it's probably gonna be a lot of gumbo, a lot of specifically Black American Pacific soul and heritage dishes and ties to us. I think is really really dope. And then lastly, for all of my Creekmen, all of my Freemen, all of my Trail of Tears, my Cherokees, Checkawas, Choctaws, Blackfoots, they have a powwow in Iowa. And this tribe is called the Mesquilawali Powwow. They have a Soak powwow too, but and for those who don't know what a powwow is, it is a pretty much a big festival. Think of like a bonfire, like that type of scenario where they gather around and it's very culturally selective. And I really want to go, especially when it comes to trying to honor the blood ties that a lot of us say that we have to Native Americans, or just um, triumphant ties. And when I say triumphant ties, like me specifically being a Gullah, I love mean Creoles and Seminoles, specifically Seminoles, because Gullahs and Seminoles fought in the Indian Wars. So if you go and research the Indian Wars with Andrew Jackson, the ones that I call Gullah, that I call runaways, are my people, the Gullahs, and the ones that they call Seminoles or Creeks are the natives in Florida. So I thought that that was really, really cool just to see that you can go visit a powwow in the Midwest. I thought that was dope. But yeah,
Okay.
those are my
All
festivals.
right. Appreciate you rolling that information out here for us, bro. Letting us know where we can go have us some good old time with our native brethren and sisters. Okay, I do want to say because I don't want to not highlight at least what we do have going on in Chicago as far as what around us. We got the Chicago Blues Festival. Let's not forget about that. Okay, so while primarily a celebration of
You
blues
must want to
music.
go. That's on your list for 2025.
Yeah, I do kind of want to go there. Ain't gonna
Is the Blues Festival played already?
lie. Huh?
Is it already done?
I gotta look into that. Hold on, let me go through this real
Oh, it
quick.
ain't got the date. Okay.
Yeah, it don't have a date right here. Okay, it
Okay.
says this festival highlights the contribution of Black artists
Mm-hmm.
to the genre and includes performances, workshops, and discussions on the history of blues music. So I think that's like that's pretty big to our culture, bro. I think that's pretty nice. A lot of music today comes from blues. If you guys don't know, let's see, Festival de la Velita. Oh, I went over that. Okay, cool. So no, that's everything. Then. Got it.
Let me find out you missed one. Ah!
That was it. I just want. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I mentioned Chicago Blues. My bad.
Right. Look, man.
Trying to
Some
get
of
back into the same stuff. My bad.
yeah. Shout out to all the states in the Midwest. But I and this might sound a little shady, but being from Chicago, I feel like you gotta experience summertime shot, bro. You gotta come experience summertime shot.
Yeah,
It's
it's kind of
some
different in the
different.
summertime.
It's something different about it, Joe. It's something different about it. And it make me not want to leave my city sometimes. Um,
That man ain't going nowhere, y'all.
oh, I'm leaving y'all. Just trust and believe. I don't leave.
I'm
I
just
don't
playing.
leave. I love the Midwest, and I'm probably always have a home here. But yeah, I'm going to Africa for sure.
Okay. So to make our way downtown, to get on to the last section of this here, I want to talk about what difference we have currently within education here in the Midwest. So like basically the difference between education in the Midwest versus how it is everywhere else.
Okay.
So let's see. So the Midwest, from the information that I've gathered here, states use that we use different models to govern their K-12 education system. So you know what the K-12 system is, right?
It's my kindergarten through 12th grade.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, Wisconsin and North Dakota have independently elected state superintendents, while other states may have different structures.
So North Dakota and who else?
And Wisconsin.
And Wisconsin have selected or elected
I'm sorry. Yeah,
superintendent.
they have elected. If I said select, I didn't mean to. I meant to say elected.
Elected superintendents. I've heard the term superintendents before. That's definitely interesting about an elected superintendent. Um, does it tell you anything about the powers of the superintendent? Is that equivalent to a principal? Is that supposed to be?
So,
That's interesting. Um, why they would even need that position.
a superintendent is just like a high-ranking officer. It's just a higher-ranking term.
So is
But
it a principal? Is it not a
for a
principal?
school superintendent, that is known as a manager or administrator who oversees a school district or multiple public schools.
Oh, okay. So like a regional manager
Yeah, but they're taking care of
for
multiple
schools
schools.
though. But yeah,
So that's the difference, at least to kind of answer the question and give
okay.
you like a better idea of why it's so big, because they actually got to elect that. They got to pick who is over
Mm-hmm.
the schools and things of that sort. So versus other states, they have a different
Mm-hmm.
structure on how they do that.
So what I will say to this is new information to me, and what I love about learning new information when it comes to things like this is how can this be utilized in either my individual state or even in the region and even in Black America though, because what I see from this that is a positive, especially for our kids, is and in this political world that we're in right now, is having the power to elect a person who can direct our kids' education, right? And it can be in a progressive way, it can be in a positive way to say, hey, the kids in a charter school, right? And I'm not saying the charter schools are better than CPS school because we graduated from your general education school system.
Public
You heard me?
schools is where he's getting that. We came from a public school, not no fancy dancy school. Nobody really paid for our education. We just honed in and got to school.
But what I will say, going back to the charter school, is like, so let's say the charter school had things that were advancing the children that were going there. Since we being the village, being the region of the Midwest, say, hey, we like that initiative that they're doing at the charter school, and we see that this person who is, bidding to be the superintendent would like to implement that into like general education school systems. I like having the power to say, hey, we can put him in that position because he's going to now improve upon what is deemed as a necessity for our kids' education. So I think that's really really cool.
Yeah, I don't have any argument there. I mean, I just want to input that, rather is someone coming from a charter school or a public school, the idea is just to have someone that can direct our kids in a positive manner. You know what I mean? Like really get them an education and get them some type of understanding to what's going on outside of the school as well. You know, really prep the student for the world. That's something that all of us struggle with going throughout school. You get to school and they're more so just following the system that was already gave that handed to them. And as long as they follow their system, they feel as if their job is done. Not all teachers, not all faculty that run schools, things of that sort, but most. And then that becomes a problem, of course, because now the child that grows up to be an adult is just passed along throughout life. And then when that adult comes, can't read, write, do any math. Now we're dealing with that in the real world as far as with those are the ones that then become, how can I say it? I don't want to say criminals. You know what I mean? So if you can help me out there.
So what Papa's referring to or getting to is that the literacy, look at me, y'all. The literacy rate in the city, in the region, in the country is a real problem, and we need educators to tackle it. Because if you don't tackle it, then when that teenager, that kid becomes an adult, they're more likely to be a victim of the system and situations, and they end up incarcerated. That's what you see and hear about when you say the school to prison pipeline. So we challenge our educators who deem themselves to care about our kids. Amen. Get the literacy rate up because it is ridiculous. And that was even a fault even back when we was growing up. I remember when I was getting graded on like my literacy rate. Now before this was great because I think I was in like third grade reading at the eighth grade level. It sounds dope, right? We in third grade or fourth grade reading at the eighth grade level. When I did the eighth grade and they like, and I'm in high school and they still saying that I'm reading at a eighth grade level. Your child is still reading at eighth grade level. Then you got to really assess that, right? So that's what we mean when we say tackle the growth of comprehension when it comes to reading, because not only is that a necessity in life, it's a necessity in business.
Yeah, so
But
I just agree there. Go ahead,
for
bro.
for me, um, even as they grow, like when we graduated high school, shout out to our high schools. Them was very developing years. Them was very fun years. But it's that post or after high school education and the education in the Midwest. So these are some of the top universities, and it's really dope to find out. And I hear these a lot, and these are from different states. So the top colleges and universities in the Midwest go like this, and there's no top ranking order. University of Chicago, University of Michigan, Iowa State, Purdue University. Purdue is in Indiana. Shout out to Indiana, and then
Shout out
Washington.
Purdue in general. They done made me a lot of money, boy. FanDuel, if you know.
Uh, and shout out to Washington University in St. Louis, Missouri. Those were some of the top colleges that came up in the Midwest. And I hear about all these colleges, so they do live up to their name, uh, especially when it comes to like all the parents. Because recently we went to this thing called Earn Your Masters, and it's a little side conversation. But what ended up happening was one of the people that we met that was attending the event was talking about their child going off to college, right? And I know you can understand this, or at least from a parent's mind frame. The mom didn't want their child to go off, right? It was like, oh, he got into this college and that college, and it's far away. So let's say we are from Illinois, we are from Michigan, and so forth. Can my child get a pristine education and not have to live or move far? And you can. You can, they can. So Iowa State, Missouri State is like a 4 hour, 2 hour drive. It's not too far, you know what I'm saying, but it's far enough to where they can get their independent, have their independence.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like, some parents just, you can be a crutch. I'm just gonna put it out there. This Papa Fredo talking straight up. You could be a crutch. Just let your child be a beautiful butterfly. Or if you want to be frank, just push them out the nest. You know what I'm saying? Let them grow up a little bit on their own. You can't shelter your child from the bumps and bruises that they will gain throughout going in this world that you yourself had gained. You don't want them to go through everything that you went through. Of course not. You want to provide some sense of structure and direction. But what I'm simply saying is, don't be so um, hindrance to your child that you just now you're living their life through your eyes.
So can you, I always like relating these things. Um, how would you prepare Lil Freddie and Lele to for college?
First
Um,
off, I'm not forcing them to go to college. So the funds that they have when the time comes, of course, for them to access things of that sort, I want to, and hopefully God willing, I would have groomed them to be able to make a decision. Rather, you either want to further your education for the profession that you're looking to get, right? We've already talked about it. We've already been working on it, things of that sort, or the business that you have that in your the mind or the business plan that you put together that you want to create, or if you would like to take over my own personal business idea. So other than that, I'm more so encouraging them and to pick a option that will better suit you, because right now I can make them do whatever, right? But when they do become teens, they may then fight that based on what they then choose to do. So right now, it is my job to give them as much of me as possible.
um, I like that different way of thinking, but I'm going to be God's advocate on an alternative. And the reason why I say that is because, and again, it goes back to what an old head said to me, and I kind of understand. And you know how you would be like, you will hear your parents, they seem like they nagging about a particular thing that they want you to do, a chore or something, and they saying that this is what you need or this is a use in life. I feel like that there is a positive or a pro in the long run of being intentional about your kids going to college. And because I feel that furthering your education gives your child a better chance at sustainability, because entrepreneurship is not easy. Now, I'm cool with you having the luxury or the ability to choose, but I think that saying, hey, if you have the secondary or post secondary education on top of whatever it is that you want to do, you will succeed and you have something to fall back on. I think that that's really, really
So
important.
I don't hold you there. That's why they have trades. But more so, you know, I'm just giving again my own opinion and answering the question to the best of my abilities that you asked. So
So,
what I will
but
say is
mm,
that it's not a problem, as far as with to highly recommend, furthering your education, things of that sort. But
mm,
again, that's not for all. That can also be an issue that puts you in debt that you can't get out of.
it's true. Student loans
So
are serious.
the same education that some have, others do have that never went through schooling. Now, I'm not saying that you went to school to be a doctor. I didn't go to school to be a doctor, but I do know how to do certain surgical work. I should be allowed to do that. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am simply saying that there are plenty of avenues here in this world or in the business aspect that allows you to either be innovative
Yeah.
or be the next one that's better than the others. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's just I don't want to limit my children. That's my point there. I don't want to limit them or make them think that you have to follow the system or cycle that has been laid here in front of us that America put here basically to say
So
this
let
is
me
what's
say
going to
this.
happen.
So let me say this. So I'm gonna run this through for the parents who like, well, I want my kids to attend college. I think that is a good decision.
Again,
So
I do think it is a good
so
idea for them
what
to
what
attend.
what I will say is if my kids came to me and I had an envision on how I wanted to prepare them for college, almost very similar to preparing them for life, but preparing them in the ways of, okay, if you fell in the grade, how are you going to assess the to improve? You're going to go to tutoring. Okay, now you got to go to after school tutoring. Okay, how are you going to handle the electives? How are you going to handle being an athlete and being in school? Um, I'm going to give them the projected outcomes and job industries for when they do go to college. But I'm also even when they start telling me about their dreams, I can even direct them to a college about that. So like I met a parent who was like her son loves music. Okay, so she still even while pushing his dreams and trying to find ways into the industry, found a college that majors in school. I know a young man. He from Mississippi. He came up here. He came up to the Midwest. We was doing the hood hoops. Shout out to Big Twan. We was doing a charity event, and he was just talking to me. And he has a full ride for his major in music. So he's still chasing his dream. Like he know he want to be a rapper, but I feel and think that at some point his parents also instilled him the importance of education. So he's like, I want to chase my dream, but I also want to have something that gives me stability, right? And they were just like, yo, college is a good net for you. How can you chase your dream and get your education at the same time? And I thought that was dope because he 18, bro. We weren't thinking like that at 18. So I really commended him. And the fact that he has a full
Not
ride.
at all, but I had a different mindset at 18 than the average 18-year-old personally. Me myself, I've always been a business aspect man. That's why I say again, I would hope that certain things I can trickle down to my kids and instill in them. But as far as with what you saying
General
about
18-year-olds. Yeah.
again, I'm not fighting that the fact of education. Like I
Yeah.
said, I fully support that if that's what they choose to do. All I'm simply saying is don't get caught on thinking that that is the only avenue or the only output because
For sure.
as you're going through school, what do? They put that in your head as far as with, oh, well, once you get out of elementary, you're going to high school. Once you get out of high school, then you're going to college. Once you get into college, then you'll later on or sometime you'll figure out what you actually want to do. That's not even reality itself as well. So I
Yeah.
have to go through college to figure out what I want to do. Come on, man. So
Yeah.
it's just more so being real with yourself, being real with the seeds that you brought in this world and how you
Yeah.
want them to come up. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you feel me? Be hands on with your children. That's what we getting at.
We auto. That is preparing them. Well, what I will say though is, I'm going back to the point about you can help your kids navigate. You can help your kids navigate in education. These are some of the top degrees in demand right now. So degrees for business, degrees for marketing, degrees for information technology, nursing, economics, computer science, electrical engineering, and electrical engineering. So those are a few of the top degrees that are in demand for this era in this century. So all the youngins, because we don't like to call it. Sometimes I call y'all kids, but also I ain't that old. Um, but for all the youngins who are either about to go to college this year or about to leave college in the same year, um, please look in the best way to utilize your degree and what your salary is, and hopefully that degree you're getting is and something you want to pursue as your lifelong dream. So like the degree for those and for the youngest who listening, I'm going to go get my degree in sociology because it's the study of people and behavior. Because I always wanted to try to do my best to discover as to why my people think the way they think and do the things we do. So it's the study of human behavior, basically.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. I think that's very beautiful. You want to get in tune with your people. You want to understand and tap in with the world, or not the world. I'm sorry. You want to tap in with the people themselves. So I do want to say that's great. You know what I mean? Whomever out there listening that want to take up and bro steps or get any more information, go ahead, hit us up in the comments, or you can also inbox bro directly. He'll be more than happy to get that to you. I do want to bring out some of the top trade schools, at least that you can kind of get into with, at least here in the Midwest area. So you do have the Salina Area Technical College. That's a good place to go to. That's in Salina, Kansas. And we have a Frontier Community College. That's in Fairfield, Illinois. You have North Central Kansas Technical College. I'm sorry. That's in Beloit, Kansas. Um,
Beloit, Kansas.
huh?
Beloit, Kansas.
What they got? You got Rankin Technical College, which is in St. Louis, Missouri. Uh,
We talked about this in one of our previous episodes. So go check out workforce development and
that
job
as well.
training.
That as well.
We did.
And we got Lincoln Technical Institute, Universal Technical Institute. So the Lincoln that's located in multiple Midwest locations. So that's why I'm not just giving one. I would just Google it. The other one is also located in multiple Midwest locations. Universal Technical Institute. It doesn't have just one institute that you can get into. But these are some of the top trade schools. So if you are looking to find a trade school, you can go through these, and they'll be able to, get you something around a fair price, and they have a high graduate rate. So that's another reason why I mentioned these schools as well. They're all above 50% or 55% there.
Okay. So the my these are my closing thoughts overall, y'all. Um, prepare for the economy that we live in now, but also don't let the supposed fear mongering keep you from celebrating life. And lastly, um, your education is important on both ends, whether it's traditional school education or trade and entrepreneurship school, right? Because we take up entrepreneurship school. So when we talk about education, there is no one path, but furthering your education and what it is that you want, I think is the most important for you to be successful. And yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna say never, never be afraid to be a student. You can always learn from everyone, anyone, anything. So just never be afraid to be a student. Always be aware of what is going on in today's economy and the changes that we are making, climate changes, things of that sort as well. What goes on in the world will impact you. So you do want to be aware of that. And I just want to say, hug your family. Give your kids hugs and kisses. Make sure that you tell them you love them at night. Uh, a family that, I'm sorry, a child that doesn't come from a home of love and grows up off hate will transition that same hate in the world. So I know that's not as easy for everyone to maybe understand or do, but I do want to say at least to make the attempt to try, because I feel like with more of the love at home, we can have a little bit more love outside in unity. And in times of depression or recessions, things of that sort, those are times for us to come together and unite and figure out how to use the resources that one another have to make it to the next day or the next year.
okay. So with that, man, if you love the show, man, like, share, subscribe. Shout out to Spotify for hosting us. Shout out to iHeartRadio for hosting us in their podcast platform. Shout out to YouTube and subscribe to the channel at Midwest Point of View. Comment how you felt about today's episode. Comment about what it is that you love to hear from us. And we're going to take it from now.
Yeah, thank you for joining in on the show. I am your host, Papa Fredo.
And I am your host, Out for the Prince, man.